Good morning, friends. And thank you, Prajot. You made my job very, very easy because I was supposed to talk on technology in 21st century. And I know everybody's longing for a cup of hot tea. So I'm going to make it short and crispy. You took us to America and the second president. I would take you to Vivekananda because I'm an Aurobindo follower who says, from near to far, right? So in 1893, when our young Vivekananda went to Chicago, and he was addressing youth of America, and he got to learn so much what technology was at that time doing to American society for progress. He shared it with his friends saying, what we need is to study independent of foreign control, because we were under Britishers, different branches of the knowledge that is our own, and with it, the English language and Western science. We need technical education and all else that may develop industries so that men, instead of seeking for service, may earn enough to provide for themselves. They could go to Mars for farming now. It would be better if the people got a little technical education, to that they might find work and earn their bread, their living, instead of running from pillar to post and crying for service. During the course of the conversation, his friend asked him, and he told his friend, if I get some graduates, I may try to send them over to Japan. And that's what Mr. Rajan, you also said about America and Japan. He said, I would send them to Japan and make arrangements for their technical education there so that when they come back, they may turn their knowledge to the best account for India, or a good thing that would be for our country. So the friend says, why, Maharaj? Is it better for us to go to Japan than to England or America? He said, certainly. In my opinion, if all our rich and educated men once went to Japan, to see Japan, their eyes will be opened. There in Japan, you find a fine assimilation of knowledge and values. And it is indigestion, as we have here. They have taken everything from the Europeans, but they remain Japanese all the same, and they have not followed Europeans, while in our country, we have a terrible mania of following Western countries. Now this I wanted to share with you because somebody from our society in 1893 could think of the importance of technology in education. Do we have to talk about how important it is in 2017? I mean, 17 years gone of 21st century, and we're still talking about whether technology is important or not. As you read, I'm from humanities. I did psychology. No physics, no mathematics, no biology, no nothing. But today, my people in my school or wherever I work, they tell me, ma'am, how do you interview a maths teacher? I know maths because I know it's a subject of precision. I know physics because I know physics is a subject of precision. But who were the teachers? How did I learn all that? 2000, I joined Educom and Millennium schools, knowing that it's an IT company. And believe me, till 1999, I became a principal when I was 34, very early stage. And I had my PAs and my secretaries to reply or to all my mails, and I had never touched a mouse. 2000, when I joined Educom, I looked at the computer, the laptop on my table. I looked at the mouse. I didn't know what to do with it. So I called my computer teacher, and now I was the principal. I had to be, little cautious. So I said, Puneet, the new lab is coming up, and if we have to order 30 computers for it, I need 30 pieces of these. So do I write mouse or do I write mice? So I just wanted to bring in little humor so that Puneet, my PRT teacher, could teach me how to hold it and how to start my communication, or just to open I didn't even know how to open a computer. I mean, it was like dreadful. That was 2000, and today is 2017. And I'm so proud with my sons settled in, one working in Tesla, of course, and the other an IT programmer in New York, the other one in California. When they say, "Ma, we are proud of you, you know more technology than us." That is what is required, I think, for this century. And when we are the onus lies on us as owners of the school, as teachers, as CEOs. Our business is education, right? And if we are responsible for education, as we said, we don't know what's coming in 2030, but are we preparing students? I agree with you. Do we have that kind of vision that I am going to prepare somebody who would be at the top in 2015? I'll be gone. But would that person remember me? The person would only remember us if we created an environment today for that young child who would be a CEO in 2050 or 2040 to remember us, because we made that student a lifelong learner. If we do not, like rightly said, that you said that teachers have to be, they are the experienced learners in the classroom. I agree with you, because Aurobindo, as it is, I said, I am a follower of Aurobindo. He says, none of us can teach, but each one of us can learn, right? Now, if there is a learner in me, there's a learner in the child, there's a learner even in an animal, isn't it? But can we then have that vision how to make a child learn when I am gone? When the child has left the school and I have made a child lifelong learner, the child will keep learning. And once you are a continuous learner, you know how to deal with your challenges in life. Any challenge coming, like I said, had my teachers in 60s and 70s not taught me to take the bull by horns, I would not have held that mice or mouse that day, right? And I would not have learned anything about technology. I would have been scared of it. And as you said, 10,000 people would be guarding. Yes, resistance is the nature of human being. All of us, when we started Smart Class in our schools, how many of you can agree that each and every teacher was using Smart Class? We all said, it's a wonderful technology into the classroom, but everyone resisted it. We do resist. That's the human nature, right? But how do we, the principals, the directors, the owners of the school, how do you motivate your teachers? How do you train them? How do you, create that environment is in our hands. So not saying that how important it is. All of us, I think all of us sitting here agree that technology ke bina ji nahi sakte. Technology in education is what will lay foundation for the success of each and every student in the future. And if your students have that sense of success through technology, they'll work on their own. Because industrialization was an era. Before that, we were very individualistic in learning, right? We were doing we had entire goal was individualistic performance or, achievements. After that came the industrialization, where the factories and the manufacturing and all was important. Today, again, the question was put by Mr. Rajan that, do you know how many individuals are working on this module to do something about our reaching Mars and have a colonization there? It's the individual mind which has to have that spark. And we, through technology, can make them able to, referring to the past presentation again, the two things which make you successful is strong personality and strong communication. If that is so, could we then see what our children are doing today? Could we then create that environment? Yes. Just a word of caution, because I am a psychologist and I have been counseling students, and I've seen how people who get down the track, who leave the track, and they somewhere, technology can be misused also. How do we, that's why I gave the example of Japan. How do we balance technology with values is something again in our hands. A very small example, Japanese were the ones who were bombarded during World War, and Americans were responsible for bombarding them, right? How many years have passed? While we are in India are still protesting against Britishers ruling us and we want our Kohinoor back. How many of us have seen Japanese on the roadside protesting and sloganing against America? We haven't seen that. But the Japanese, they feel proud, and they felt proud the day the President of America in White House used a Panasonic phone and a Sony television, right? Those are the values. You progress in technology, you make the world feel, and India is the happening country. India is the one which has to pave the way, and if that is what is going to happen in the next 20, 30 years, then we are the ones sitting here who have to bring in technology at its best in our classroom, in our schools, and all our stakeholders, the parents, the teachers, the students, and even the vendors. All of us are working on ERPs, and we are, administering through that. It is so very successful model that what we were doing in 20 or 30 days, now we can do it in 1 hour, isn't it? It has made our life so easy. Now you don't need PAs and you don't need secretaries, right? You can do your job, and you can apply your own mind to your work. So I feel that work which comes through technology leads to more research leads to more meaningful work plus the knowledge which you gain actually gives you a formula for success and progress. And if you as an individual are successful and progressive, your country is a wealthy country. And when I say wealthy country, I don't just mean financially, right? Because I have always believed that when Saraswati is sitting on us, the Lakshmi stands, the Lakshmi follows. So the future for our country and globally is in technology, and I would just like to share what, as a small little venture that we have, the Millennium schools across our country, what are our students doing in the school, because technology, how important it is, already has been spoken, so I am not going into details for that. You see all the areas we are using in our schools as smart class. We're using all for projects, like you said, Brexit. We had a small little thing called, because I had attended a lot of workshops with Finnish people coming here, and remarkable. So we tried it on our school, a small little thing called migration. I threw that word at the school, migration, right? And believe me, the whole e-learning and the e-library, the part of e-library which has been built by students and teachers on this small little concept called migration is voluminous. And for all the generations to come, the history of migration, the geography of migration, the physics of migration, even watching birds who migrate, having a wingspan of that size and having a wingspan of this size. Which country have they flown from? What is the strength? What is the biological species? All that can be done with a small little one concept. But you go through technology and you can produce the children, by children, for children. The e-library in our schools is maintained by children, and they produce and they add on to that. So we have, see, in the library, we have the assessment through that. We have the career counseling, which you'll see children talking about. We have classmate computers, where children can just do their researches and communicate to teachers. We have FlipLearn system, which is again by Educom, that we communicate through FlipLearn. We do all types of communication and transaction through FlipLearn. We have our flipped classrooms, which senior students love FlipLearn because they don't want to listen to a lecture in the classroom. And the teachers naturally have become facilitators because bachche to padh ke aate. You are the one who has to bear the challenge of doing the assignment and the homework and the discussion and debate with them in the class. They love it and teachers learn it. So we have the Health Set Go, that entire, what you talked about, the sick bay. It's a very interesting thing what I found, because the psychologist in me, I found a high correlation between the students, and that data threw it at me. The students visiting, the senior students visiting sick bay are the ones who are bunking maximum times. So there's a correlation between bunking and visiting the sick bay for children above class 8. That was a nice finding. Okay, so we would just like to show you where all the children are using the technology in our school and how they are learning, and you would make out whether they are strong in communication, are they going to be successful?
Myself, I am Devasundari, Maths Facilitator. In present system, the new generation is more advanced. So, along with this technology, the facilitators should plan their strategies in such a way that the teaching-learning process should take place in a short and crispy way and should fulfill the expectations of the students. The students expect the things should happen instantly, that is, instant results, instant feedback, and so on. And in one-to-one interactive system, nowadays using CMPC, that is the Classmate Personal Computer, or else called as Students' Palm Talk. Using Students' Palm Talk, here we used to conduct many quiz, file distribution, and broadcasting. You have the interactive session with your CMPC, you know very well, all of you. Yes, so, what do you want today? You want the quiz, file distribution, or broadcasting? Quiz. Shall we have a quiz? Yes. On which topic you would like to have today? I have said 2 chapters. Out of those, today we will have? Very good.
This is an online program that we've taken with US.
Good morning, I'm Chitali Bali. I'm a facilitator for grade 5. I'm taking care of English subject. Here you can see our students are doing Reading Plus program. A perfect way of enhancing vocabulary by students. It not only enhances the vocabulary, but this technology has improved a child's reading skills.
Consider the number 5 upon 8. Now this is equal to 0.625. That is, this is the decimal expansion of this number. Now
since many years. It is a strategy where the homework and a typical lecture, the both processes are reversed. Students see short videos and lectures at home, and when they come to the class, teacher is doing some exercises, some projects with them, and they learn gradually with the teacher in the class. So the concept exploration is done by the students at home, and the meaning of the concept and the real life application of the concept is done in the class. So whereas in typical class they are listening to the lecture in the class and doing homework at home, here in flipped classroom they enjoy more because they are reading the concept at home and they are doing exercises in the class with the teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we'll be studying about revolutionaries, and one of the revolutionary is
Mazzini from
Italy. I have given you a sheet, right? Now please write down the name of the revolutionary as your topic first. Which societies he formed? Write down the
That the following this model of his, many secret societies were set up in Germany, France, Switzerland and Poland. His vision frightened the conservatives, and then the views of the people on Mazzini was...
See, a wonderful thing, you don't have to read book in the class, but whatever the work the students have done, you don't need a recap after that.
Good morning. I'm Rita. I'm working as a librarian in TMS Noida. Library in today's world house more than books. Technology has changed the expectations of its users. In our school library, we use school automation system for issuing the books. We also have state-of-the-art computers in our e-library. E-reading devices are also there. We purchase books online. In e-library, students research, they read e-books. Online worksheets are done. So in today's era, we can clearly say that technology has really helped libraries to meet the changing needs of its users. Thank you.
Technology has changed a lot the way we are learning today. Of course, we have the smart classes in our school with which we are learning virtually with 2D and 3D animations. Apart from that, we have many websites run by organizations that teach us for free and for paid as well. There are websites such as Udemy and Treehouse where we can enroll in paid courses for many topics such as programming or mathematics, economics, etc. And then there are websites run by organizations such as edX, which is a collaboration of Harvard and MIT, where we have all the courses which are offered by these colleges, where we can enroll for free and pay if we want a certificate for the completion of the course. And then we have devices such as the Amazon Kindle, with which we can carry thousands of books with us at a particular point of time. And we now no longer have to go to a physical location such as a library or a school or a bookshop to gain access to books. We can just log on online, purchase books or access the many free libraries that are there and learn from anywhere where we want.
I'm Kishika Mahajan from class 11th. FlipLearn is a learning platform which helps us enhance our learning. We can share our notes with our friends. We receive assignments from our teachers. We can ask them any doubts via the messages. Then we can also see our logbook updates with which we can know whatever homework we have to do. And also a very special features is the availability of smart classes, in which we can see, we can clear our concepts in a better way. Is a platform that uses technology in the best possible manner. through this platform, every student after 12th can choose from a wide variety of career options without going anywhere in real time. Also, University provides us with a test that's called a psychometric test that every student from 9th and 10th can give so that they can choose their stream in 11th and 12th.
We have used inclusive learning through technology. Being a psychologist and a special educator, I've seen technology helping out the autistic children and the schizophrenics, and they have been mainstreamed in our schools, and they're doing so well in board exams too. These are the other areas that the school is using technology. The latest smart boards have a...
As a parent, I feel that technology helps a lot in child's development. Today, the entire globe is one place. Children get so much exposure and awareness because of internet. Earlier, the things, they were very restricted or confined in one area only. But now the entire world is at their disposal. Whatever kind of knowledge they want, they can take. I would say even the games they play on phones or computers, it helps in their logical and analytical development. So technology has helped a lot for the development of my child. As far as I am concerned, it is very helpful for me as well. I can pay my child's fees online, I can order the books online, I don't have to go to any stationery shop and carry on the heavy load of books with me. Whatever information I want about my child, everything is at a click's away. Whatever has been covered in my child's school, there are various apps through which I get to know the knowledge of that. If my child is present in school or has taken leave, everything is uploaded on the systems. So personally, I feel technology is of great help.
So I would like to end up saying tech gives the quietest student a voice. Thank you. And thank you for listening to me, and I am sure your hot cup of tea is ready. Thank you very much.